Finish opening shades. I just want to make sure I was on here on time. Here's the shipyard. I was trying to time it for sunset, and I don't know how my body is. No. Start showing stuff. There we go. Shine a light. There, make it more better. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Much better. There. We're here at Hahnville Bar. There's a ship coming by. Here at shipyard, James Marine here at Hahnville. And we just got some little quick repairs to make. So we just got here this morning. And I think we're going to be in and out pretty quick. I don't know, have any idea on that. They just tell me where to drive. Anyway, so yeah, we're sitting here at the shipyard at Hahnville, and this is a stone straight I'm on. I got on, what day did I get on? I've just been on about 3 days. I got on southbound Natchez, and then we went down dropping barges all the way down to right above New Orleans at what is it, Carrollton Fleet, and finished out dropping stuff. That's a Hale Boggs Bridge right over there. I'm sorry, I'm jerking. That's a Hale Boggs Bridge, Luland, Destrehan area. And yeah, we're tied off right here alongside. It's kind of neat. I kind of get a kick out of this. I'm not too sure about this deal here. This cat Mike's screen, I think. He's got his screen set up. It's kind of neat. But anyway, the SCF Explorer, they're in here in the shipyard. They're in here also. They got them in the shipyard. I don't know what they're doing. But that boat, and then Christopher D. Wilson's in. They're doing some work on it. But it's the deal. I'm pretty sure that's Kenny Shaver's vessel, Captain Kenny. I think. I know if it's not, it's a sister ship, the one he rides. And back in the day when we worked at WKN, that was he was ring captain on that vessel. And it was that's the first vessel that I ran front watch on right there when I was relieving Captain Kenny. Now, I think that's right. Now, somebody's going to tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Kenny Shaver, that's his boat right there. I know it's one of those SCF boats, those Z-drives, new Z-drives, but I think that's his. Anyway, for this story, it is. And just kind of neat because that's the Christopher D. Wilson used to be the Lloyd Murphy back in the day when I worked at WKN. And when I worked in office, that was Kenny's ride. And then when I came out, got my license and all that, and worked my way up. The very first time I stood front watch, I was just filling in. It was me and Mickey Jarvis. Mickey Jarvis on back watch. He was just tripping over there, and I was just filling in front watch because Kenny got off, and we were coming down here. We were bringing just a few barges down because that boat had, I can't remember what all they had to work on, but we brought it down to Harahan. We took it down to Harahan down there by New Orleans, ACL shipyard or whatever back then, and took it down there for repairs. Anyway, and basically I was just I was I was staying on my own watch. I was a pilot then. I was running pilot, but I'd never run front watch instead of front watch. So it was a big deal, man. First time you ever run captain. Anyway, I was just a fill-in. I wasn't a regular. It was just a fill-in, but it was kind of neat. But the whole crew, I was the youngest guy on the whole boat. I was the captain. I was the youngest. I was a kid on that boat, and the first mate on there was Odell, and rest in peace. He passed away, but he actually died on that boat. But Odell, he had grandkids, so he was the first mate, and they always treated me like a kid on there. They basically tell me, just do as you're told, and that's about it. And I was, all those guys have been around a lot longer, and I was most of the deck crew, I think, was even had more experience than I did. Anyway, but I stood my first watch. Or first watch running captain. I think I was on there maybe in a couple of weeks at the most. And we came down to shipyard and was in shipyard for a while. But being in shipyard, I remember we were down there at Harahan, and Odell was the mate, and you could tell he kind of ran things on the boat, especially when Kenny was off, Captain Kenny was off. Odell, he ran things, and I remember him telling me, all right, basically letting me know that the guys was going to town, and I didn't need to say nothing to nobody about it. And as long as I just stayed in my room, they'd take care of me, bring me whatever I wanted. Just basically don't ask, don't tell type situation. Ship passing by. Anyway, so I agreed to all that stuff. So I'm in my room. Odell didn't. I can't, it was 4 or 5 of the other guys decided they were going to go to the French Quarter one night. And Odell was on the boat. He stayed on the boat, obviously, run fire watch. He was going to stay on the mate. But so it was me and the mate, and all the other guys had gone without permission from anybody, the office or anybody. Anyway, they're all take off to the French Quarter. And this is before, this was back early. I think there were cell phones, but it was, regional coverage. This wasn't just, not everybody had cell phones or coverage. And this was pre-Uber, it was the taxi days and all that stuff. So transportation and communication weren't what they are today. Anyway, so the guys take off and go to town. Well, these shipyards and stuff, most of them, especially down there, it's 24 hours. There's no stopping, everything's going. It wasn't like they were shut down at night. Well, they needed, the guys are gone, and they weren't planning on doing anything with us, but they had us tied off up close to where the exit, to where they could, where the guys basically got off the boat and then went right over and had a cab. It was right there close. Well, they needed it, like in the middle of the night. Odell came and woke me up and said, hey, Cap, they want us to, we're going to have to move the boat. They needed us to move the boat for some reason. And they had us move it down to the lower end of their fleeting area, which was basically about like a half a mile from where the guys, anyway, long and short. And me and Odell didn't want to, he was trying to cover for him, and, we were didn't want to get guys in trouble, but we had to try to figure out how to get our crew back on. Who were probably going to be coming back from the French Quarter middle of the night drunk. Long and short, my memories of the whole situation, that's what stood out. I remember the setup, and I remember everything must have gone, or I remember it went well. We got the guys back on, but they brought me a T-shirt that they'd got from the French Quarter made up, and it was like a little baby's T-shirt, it was just a little, little shirt, little bitty shirt, like that big, like a toddler size, and had with captain across it. They'd had it made up in the French Quarter and brought it to me, basically that I was a baby captain. Anyway, I just seeing the Christopher D. Wilson, which is one of our company vessels now, but it used to be the Lloyd Murphy when I worked at WKM back in the day. Anyway, that was just there was some good folks, Captain Kenny. And I can't remember his relief that was over there, and who was assistant engineer over there, and he worked over there. He ended up coming over here to Western Rivers, and he just retired here a couple of trips ago. So anyway, just kind of neat. Definitely making me feel old that I feel like one of those old guys that you'd see boats and they'd go to telling stories about them. You know, back in the day, and when I was in so and the interconnections of the vessels and the men. Like I say, Captain Kenny has that boat now with SEF, and he was back. That was back in his earlier days at WKN, and the connections. You know, and then yeah, conversations when you get on a boat. Especially, you know, you got guys that have been out here for a while, you know, engineers and wheelmen and stuff that have been here. You get guys that hadn't rowed together but have been around a while, and they'll get on a boat and they get to telling stories, and inevitably they've got, you know, folks that they work with that, you know, common folks that are friends or coworkers of the past. So anyway, yeah, I'm not doing much tonight. There's not much I can do, not much driving. Uh, we've got the main engine shut down, and they've got plastic bags covering them, so keep rain and such out of there while the engines are shut down. But anyway, yeah, I wish I really had a lot of knowledge about engine room stuff and what all, you know, I could detail exactly what they've got going on, but you know, for all practical purposes, as far as I know, man, they're changing the spark plugs. That's about my limited knowledge. No, I think they've got an issue. We've got one of the main engines that won't shove up all the way, and they've got I think it's an issue where they're thinking it might be a wheel or a shaft or rudder issues. So they're gonna do a quick look, I think, and like I said, I just got on, and it wasn't causing me any problems. It wasn't. I'm, you know, the regular captain on here, Captain Mike, said he, you know, they had some vibrations and stuff when they were shoving full ahead. So for the northbound trip, when we definitely need our full throttle, yeah, they wanted to get running right and efficient. So come in for a little job. And I don't know what they're doing to the Christopher D. Wilson, but kind of neat. That'll give you an idea of perspective. That's one of those 10 or 12 foot ladders down there. When the guys were standing there, you could see they'll have a little better idea of what it looks like. But working in the shipyard, kind of neat. Anyway. But yeah, I'm not too sure what all we've got going on. I know we've already got northbound orders to get out. You know, we've already got orders to pick up barges. We got to go back south, down to Myrtle Grove, down south of New Orleans to pick up and start coming northbound. So we've already got northbound orders. So they don't anticipate us being here too long. The guys are in the morning. They're going to get on and while the engines are down, and hopefully they'll have time. They're going to get the stacks painted. Great opportunity to do that with the engine shut down. They're going to finish getting them, you know, prepped for painting and stuff, and get the stacks painted up, and you know, get stuff. Jesse and the crew, Cap Mike, Caslis on here. They've been keeping. And this was Captain Bill Winters rode this boat. Captain Bill, I mentioned, he was a mentor of mine. He passed away right there. The man died right there, died on this vessel. And he came over here, Western Rivers, and he'd been on this boat for a little while, had her looking good, getting her look good. Captain Forbes came over here, and he was riding this vessel. He took over for a while, and he kept up what Captain Bill did, and then he moved. I think he's on the Charles Strait now, and Captain Mike Caslis come over, him and Jesse and the crew. And they're the regulars on here now, and they've been carrying a tradition, man, keeping this boat looking nice. I've rode this probably in the past couple of years. I bet I've rode this Stone Strait probably more than any other vessel. Probably I've rode this one more because I was relieving. I relieved Mike a few times. Yeah, I've rode this boat front and back watch. But she's one that it used to be the Butch Barris. That's what it was. I thought I saw a chart down there. I think it was the Butch Barris because folks will want to know. Back in ACBL days, it was the Butch Barris, and yeah, it's one of the 6,000 class bobtail Viking. What is it, mid? I'll look at the deal in a little bit, but I'm thinking mid 80s, maybe early 80s. Maybe late 70 model. I think this one was built in maybe early 80s. But it's a good girl, man. She's a good girl. I like I said, I've rode this boat quite a bit since I've been over here, and she's nice, man. I knew I was gonna try to time out the live stream for sunset, man, and get something of that. And I'm looking off on the other direction, but yeah, pretty even. That Explorer, those big Z drives are something else, man. The height on them, and they're shorter than what I thought. I was thinking they were longer, but that bobtail with them Z drives, the length isn't as much of an issue as with these standard configurations. See, these are stationary shafts and stationary wheels, and these have rudders. We got rudders behind the wheel, the rudder you see right there, like that. Rudders behind the wheels, and then there's rudders in front of the wheels for backing control. And these don't. These have just a prop that spins all the way around. Each one of those main engines has a propeller with a quart nozzle that just spins, and that's how those boats turn. It's completely different deal. Completely different setup as far as the main engines and the way the propulsion's set up on them. And even in the wheelhouse, I think they've got little sticks, throttle sticks that twist like that. Yeah, maybe one of these days I'll get an opportunity to ride. I know a bunch of guys that transferred and have gone to the Z drives, and it's really not. It's not too. I mean, it's a drastic change in the way the boats handle. But as far as guys that really know how to handle boats and stuff, it's not that much of an issue. It's like I've always said, man. I really feel comfortable on any vessel because of how how they act. I get on anything. Put me on a sailboat, man. Come on. But yeah, that's a different vessel. But yeah, it was. It just really did spark a lot of memories when I see the old Lord Murphy here and in that one. And I was thinking about because I've had a few folks wanting to tell story, asking me about some stories, and some maybe the wilder stories out here. But a lot of the wilder stories really are stuff that you're not really too proud to tell about. Unless they're 20-year-old stories, which is some of the ones I was thinking of, like the one where the guy's going to town off that boat. It was different. The river industry's changed quite a bit since I've worked out here, and I you hear people say it's for the worse or for the better. I don't know. But there are a lot of changes, like in anything. Like I was saying, the communication and transportation, just cell phones and GPS has changed immensely. Everything from crew changes to location. Yeah, it's just different. Things are different now. I think progress is always debatable on if it's better progress, if it's actually progress. But for the most part, I think it is. They're moving more product. I've saw it when we had the extreme low water. There were more boats able to move more things than there were in the past. And I think the improved electronics and improved, everything. It's technologies help things improve. So, man, I am ranting on stuff tonight. That being said, it's changed as far as the folks out here. It was definitely some more rough around the edges fellas when I came out here, because a lot of the guys back then, you had to think. I mean, I rode with guys where it was it was a normal thing back in the 70s and the 80s, I guess. From the stories I heard, for guys, you'd have beer stocked in the refrigerator downstairs, and for guys to have for all the drugs, and it wasn't an issue. There were company laws, company rules, but for the most part, there weren't a whole lot of laws as far as drug and alcohol testing until I think Exxon Valdez. When the Exxon Valdez accident happened, that was when the Coast Guard stepped in and they started enforcing the drug and alcohol testing. So what I'm getting at is that stuff wasn't. It was more accepted back in the early days. And it when they changed the laws, things didn't just stop overnight. You know, they don't say, okay, yeah, well, there's a law. We need that. Guess what? New rule. No, man, they were people breaking the company rules. So long and the short, it's taken years to, you know, evolve into a safer, more efficient industry. I think, you know, the like I said, the technology is not the only thing that's helped improve the efficient move of goods up and down the river. It's that we've got better, you know, we got better guys. I don't want to say better guys, but they're better equipped. They're not, you know, hung over from the watch before or off watch. You know, ideally they're not, but it's not acceptable now as the way it was, you know, back then. It's you just don't, yeah, it's not acceptable. And like I said, you know, yeah, there's stories. Trust me, it's an industry not unlike any other industry or workplace on the bank and all that. But as you know, you have the good and the bad of any industry, and we definitely do that. But for the most part now, man, it's just, you know, guys are getting paid good money to do a job out here, and it's expected. And most of them, you know, I don't know. I don't want to say it's a more maturity now. Those folks it's just that's just the way things are, and it just took time to evolve into that being the standard instead of, you know, it not being. Anyway, but that being said, there's some great damn stories to tell about some of the stuff that wasn't supposed to go on the boats. You know, I mean, I've got videos of I've got videos that I post now. It's not even, people won't even frown on it, but it was. I remember the captain that I rode with at the time, Dave Long and short, I had a video. It's a VHS video of us playing poker in the galley. And oh man, he was worried to death if that got back. If anybody saw that video of us playing poker in the galley, off watch, that, you know, we'd all be fired. And at the time, they have been. I don't know, but anyway, yeah, it's a neat view. I was hoping it was going to work out all right for some views tonight, as far as the sunset, and see him working on the boat down there doing the welding. Oh, American Queen's about to pass. All right, I'll check it out. I'm sorry, I'm not reading the comments, y'all. I'm trying, but I know I know how I get, and if I go to scrolling and reading, I'll go back definitely and read back through later. But if I go to scrolling and reading too many comments, then it gets really boring to watch back anyway. It's just really pretty, man. That was something that I was thinking about. Where I've had a change of views on things, and it was man, that was just really pretty. It was I had not just one time, but there was a specific one that kind of got me. Somebody talking about how lucky I was, or something. It was mentioned luck, and I was snappy, and I get snappy. I used to be snappy when people talk about luck, because I always thought that kind of discounted the hard work that I put in, and so I always said, I didn't have any luck. But yeah, man, I was being born in the United States started off my good luck. So I've been very fortunate, man. I really have, and I realize that nowadays. When you see people, I've seen and heard stories of folks who have done everything right and really had a shitty life, and that's just, I've been very fortunate. I've been a very lucky man. I would hope that I've maximized on that good fortune, but yeah. I just was thinking that when I got to looking at this and seeing these views, and just, I don't know, man, this is a childhood dream to do something like this, hang out at a shipyard and, watching boats go by on the Mississippi River. I mean, and to kick it all off, I get to be the captain, man. Come on. Yeah, you get the kid out of me now. Definitely get the kid out of me. And I am a very, very lucky man to have these opportunities. Very lucky man. I just, I think that's why I like the YouTube, man. I like to show some of the stuff we see out here because, you know, a lot of times we're working and we really don't get to, or, you know, like Captain Way was saying, that's what made Twain so good because he was young in his time out here on the river. He wasn't a seasoned pilot, so it wasn't something that he was used to. And I think that's a lot of it. We get used to seeing this crazy stuff that we get to see out here, and yeah, it just, you know, it's like anything else. It becomes repetitive and it becomes a job. But I don't know, man. I go back home enough to keep me grounded and bring me back down to, you know, reality of how special a job and the appreciation I should have for this job, anyway, and I do. That being said, I'm never going to be content, but I've really learned how to enjoy the journey and be happy. And I really got to say that's what makes me happiest now, is that I really do enjoy the journeys that I'm on. You know, as far as my career path, my fitness path. Yeah, man, it's a good time, man. It's a good time for me. It's a trip. I turn into a kid though watching this stuff. Well, seriously, if I wasn't doing the video right here, I would have the binoculars out and be, you know, checking everything out that I could see with the binoculars, and because it's just neat. I mean, it's just neat stuff. Big, heavy equipment. You know, a lot of work going on 24/7. There you can see a guy down there. That kind of give you an idea on size. Perspective. Somebody said that the Queen was going to come by. I'm going to go see where she's at. Let's see. Well, let's dim this down. Number one first. See, we're right here. We are actually at mile, what is it? Mile 124. Right above 26 Mile Point. That's Valero. That's Shell, Norco. That's big Shell refineries over there. And then, yeah, back down around the corner, like I said, that's the Hell Bogs Red Luling Bridge. Let's see. Yeah, it might be later. I don't see. Anyway, and this Laplace right upriver from us. Right around the corner right there is the Bonnie Carey spillway. Is just literally right there. See, we're right here, and the Bonnie Carey's right there. I don't know, maybe she'll come around later. I didn't see her. Anyway. But yeah, it's a beautiful evening. Really pretty. Really pretty young. It's nice out, man. It's definitely hot and humid, but it's not too bad. I mean, I'm not breaking sweat or anything, and usually at this time of the evening down here in the south, I'd still be sweating. Kind of neat. Very neat stuff. But yeah, just a chill evening. Figured it would be a good time to get a little YouTube live stream. Oh, and that's the thing, man. I'm trying to get. I do have my. I'm kind of trying to put them in sequential, or you know, well, I'm trying to. Some of them, like I posted the one going through the bridge, was just the other day. Long and the short, I've got. Last trip that I rode on the Cowboy Carl, I've just started uploading it. I rode rode a trip, last trip on the Cowboy Carl. We were making short runs from St. Louis to Hahnville, Missouri. And yeah, I got off a boat at Hahnville, Missouri. It was neat. It was really neat. The guys that were trying to set the record to canoe down the river or whatever, they went by us one day. It was a neat trip. It was a neat trip. That was St. Louis. The video that I posted, the homeless guy there at City Front St. Louis, that was from the Cowboy Carl trip, and I've got a lot of footage from that trip yet to get up. So I'll get it up. I'll get it up soon. Anyway, yeah, I can't remember. I had another story I was going to tell, and I'll do another live stream. I think it was from early on. There's a story. It is a kind of a famous story back home. When it was a crew change where me and a couple of my buddies got off in Chicago and got up, Lamont. We took a rental car from Chicago to St. Louis, and on the way there, we ended up in Peoria at a strip joint, and yeah, one of the guys did not make it on the flight home, and there was craziness. There was fights, gunplay, running from, all kinds of stuff. Laws were broken, all kinds of craziness. Anyway, I feel it's appropriate that this time that story does come out, so expect my next live stream. Maybe I'll have to tell that story. Anyway, that's it. I'll probably get some more footage. I might go wandering around later. I got to be real careful. I don't, there's stuff that obviously I don't want to, upset somebody that I'm not supposed to be videotaping, did this or that or the other. So I'll get some video footage of stuff underneath the boat if I can later and all that. But like I said, I'll make sure I edit that. I'm not going to do that stuff live. Just quiet now. Quiet. It's just perfect. Look at that. I was going to quit the live stream, but it's just nice. Too nice out. Kind of neat. There's guys. Okay. I'll go back and try to answer some of the comments. I'll go see some of the questions and comments on the chat. I'll go back and see that, y'all. It's just hard for me to focus on doing that when I'm and I don't mind it. I don't mind folks going and asking on there. Like I said, I'll read back through it. But it's hard for me to do that and make it worth watching on replay because I'm sitting there trying to read stuff and, like I said, I try to answer as many questions that I can. And there's no dumb questions, y'all. And I get it. Some people have asked, you see the same thing asked over and over. I'll just answer it right now. How deep? Right here, the water right here, I'm going to say 30 foot. Yeah, I'll answer that question. It's exactly. Matter of fact, I know for a fact, 30 foot on the money right here. The Mississippi River is 30 foot deep. So I answered that question in the comments. Y'all don't need to ask. The water, it's 30 foot, guaranteed. Yeah, bank to bank, it's 30 foot water right here. I know. I checked it. I checked it with the sounding pole earlier. Trust me on that, y'all. Guaranteed. 30 foot of water. Yep, that's how deep the Mississippi River is. That's just going to be my answer from now on. No, that's wrong. Anyway, it is just nice out. It's just too nice. This is the night that I really do feel fortunate. Like they're lucky. Talking about feeling lucky. What's the temp? I did see that. It's nice out. I'm gonna say probably mid 80s. I could probably look on my phone. I'm gonna say mid 80s probably. It's real humid. As I'm standing here saying I wasn't sweating, I'm starting to sweat. So there's that. Yeah, ship coming by. Another one. A little bit of ship, seen quite a bit of ship traffic. What state am I in? I saw that. I'm in Hahnville, Louisiana. That's where I am. Like, we are what 20 miles upriver from New Orleans. That's Shell Norco. That's Hahnville, Louisiana. That's where we're at. Laplace is right over there. Destrehan, Luling. Yeah, that's some pretty colors actually. I know I'm swinging the camera around. I'm kind of busy watching stuff though. Huh. I do actually like this little screen. Cat Mike put up one of those little, see, keep the bugs out, but the door open. That's kind of neat actually. Yeah. Yeah, we got a ship coming by. I'm going to keep the live stream going until the ship comes by. We'll check him out. I saw there was one that I posted. I know I haven't posted. I took a video actually this morning when we were running light boat. I've got quite a bit to post from this trip already, actually, now I think about getting on. But I'll get that stuff uploaded, and I think I like doing the longer videos when I do the edited ones because I can kind of just get all that stuff together at once. So I think I'm going to stick with that format, but I've got some pretty neat footage from earlier. I remembered seeing that ship. It was it was a wide tanker. It was about the widest one I'd seen, and I think it was almost 900 foot long. It was one of probably the bigger ships I've seen up on the Mississippi River up here. Outside of those big, cargo carriers, those things are big. But as far as a tanker like that is a very big one. Getting almost too dark. This thing really does pick up the low light good because I can actually see on my phone better than I can see it visually. It's the low light on these things are pretty good. There it is. Big ship coming by. Yeah, I can barely see him visually, but the phone's cutting through the darkness pretty good, actually. It's not real sharp. Oh yeah, the Lock 19 cams. They're talking about folks talking about the Lock 19 cam, seeing me on it. I actually have I was doing some editing because I've been doing my powerlifting and get my body back in shape, and I was wanting to find where that last trip where I could barely get around. I was on the cam and I was walking around on the stern of the boat. It was on this boat too. I actually now remembered it was, and I was hobbling. Anyway, I'm glad that the cam got the footage of that because I did a screen grab. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to put it in one of my videos. showing my progress, or I already have actually, of how bad I was. My wife had to drive to uh, where she came and picked me up. She drove up there to somewhere way up north when I got off at St. Paul City Front. I couldn't even drive home. I was so bad. She picked me up and we went straight to Oklahoma City. I went to the emergency room in Oklahoma City after I got off a boat that trip. That's how bad my back was. But yeah, that was that trip. I literally could not walk up and down the steps at all. By the end of I was crawling at the end of that trip, and I really didn't say a whole lot about it, obviously, at the time. But I was bad shape, and yeah, and I was wanting to be out and about and see more folks, but I couldn't even get out. I could barely make it up the steps. Anyway, not a problem now, y'all. I'm going for that. I don't know the folks. Anybody follow me on my social media? That I posted a video of me doing my 335-pound deadlift 5 times or 5 reps, and I'm well on my way to my 600-pound deadlift. And that's coming from could not walk and stand, and it took two months of physical therapy, and then to where I could walk unassisted and stand, and I went straight to the gym at starting strength, and I have not missed a training day since. And yeah, I could barely even do body weight squats, and deadlift. I was doing an empty bar, 45-pound bar for a deadlift, and now then I have a 600-pound deadlift goal. That's where I'm at. I'm probably about a 1 rep max. I'm probably around 400 pounds right now. That's what my trainer said. I won't do it, and she just told me because I did 335. Yeah, that's 5 reps after a 30-minute warm up. Of lighter reps or lighter weight. Anyway, all right, that's enough. Hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll be posting. I'll probably do another live stream. We'll see. I'll try to schedule it a little bit ahead of time. I say a little bit ahead of time. If I know what I'm going to do, 6 hours ahead of time, maybe the next watch or so. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.